Hello. Hello, somebody's joined me. Hi, Zenful Zebra, nice to see you. Hello, Apricot. Hello, Neil. Hello, Connie. Hello, Tom G. I'm cleansing you all as you come in. I hope you're all well on this solstice day. So, I thought we would do a lovely meditation. And it's going to be a meditation. Yes, I've put that so I don't get lots of children. I have to by law now. That's why it's over 18s. So, I didn't get time to video a pre-recorded winter solstice meditation. This is the busiest week of the year for us Druids. What with all of our ceremonies and us getting ready for Christmas, time just slipped by. So I thought I would attempt another healing meditation live. I'm just going to ignore those trolls that put me off last time. I'm not going to answer any silly questions. And I thought we would go straight into a meditation and then maybe a little question and answer afterwards. How does that sound? I'm going to say hello to everyone after the meditation. So I hope that sounds okay for everyone. I've got a few tools here. I'm actually in the northern hemisphere, so I'm in winter energies at the moment, so it's the winter solstice. I do acknowledge my friends in the southern hemisphere, and if you wish to join in, you just need to transpose the energy of the trees I'm going to talk about. The principal trees at this time are oak, which is Druid, which is the Druid tree, which is the summer tree, and the Tyne, which is the holly tree. And if you are in the southern hemisphere, you need to transpose these trees. I hope that's clear. It will become clear as we do the meditation. Okay, right. So, let's all take a deep breath in. For the sky above you, holding the air in your lungs for a little while, and then breathing out any unwanted energies, any negativity, any worries, any anxiety onto this stone here. Good hard breathe. Then take another deep breath in for the ground below you, holding the air in your lungs for a little while. And then breathing out any unwanted anxiety onto the stone. And then a last deep breath in for the seas surrounding these sacred islands and land masses that we live on. Holding the air in your lungs for a little while. And then breathing out onto the flint stone. And I shall pop this in this amethyst geode that looks blue. sigh out. I've now got a couple of stones here that I'm going to place by you. One's a red jasper and the other is a nice green bloodstone. So I'm just going to pop those. You can imagine you're holding them now in your hand. And just take this moment to calm down. I'm going to place my hands on your shoulders. And I would like you to imagine the roots of a tree growing down your shoulders and past your hips and knees and down through your feet into the ground below you. They grow down and down and down through the soil, past the minerals and the rocks, down into the inner earth, where they instinctively know which crystalline energies you need. And your roots start to drink the energies back up. And the heartbeat of the earth moves into you, slowing and calming you down. If you need to take a deep breath out again, do that at any time. And now I'd like you to imagine that you are looking up towards the skies and a spinning disc of light and love moves down around you and envelops you from the source. Trust that this is a protective energy to keep you guarded and healthy and happy throughout the meditation. You may feel it moving all around you and through you and within you, cleansing and clearing and protecting you for the journey ahead. And breathe out again. And now I would like you to imagine that you are in an inner grove, a circle of trees, a place that only you can go. It is winter in this grove of trees. Look down at the floor to see all the leaves and the pine needles. You may smell this now. And it is dark in this grove, for it is night time. And as you look up to the heavens, you can see a myriad of stars appearing, all in the winter solstice sky. This is a timeless moment, separating the old year from the beginning of the new. It is a time when the pole star appears to stand still, as well as the sun, which takes 3 days to tilt. And at midwinter and mid-heaven, the pole star shines brightly, the keeper of an eternal doorway to the other world. For this, in the northern hemisphere, is the time that we remember the ancestors, those that we knew and those that we don't know. And in the southern hemisphere, for those who are warm, it is the youth of the year, the youth who has become a man in his prime, and the tipping point is now. But right now we are in between these stages. And in the Northern Hemisphere, as you look up in your grove, you see the constellations of the Great Bear, the Arthur, and also of Draco, the dragon, whose wings overshadow everything which links to the past and the future. And the dragon also symbolizes the great Pendragon, Uther Pendragon, who birthed and gave life to King Arthur. And this winter season is one of profound darkness, when the way ahead is hidden and most difficult to follow. It is the time for you to start soul searching and go within. A time for renewal. Because in 3 weeks' time, we will have the child of the year. Those energies of Imbolc will have come through. So now is the time to shed those old beliefs, those old negative thought patterns. And we shall do that in a minute when we go for a walk. Just feel these crow feathers with the symbol of the Irish Ogham, strife, the blackthorn with big thorns to guard and protect you and to cleanse and clear. Cleansing your auric field. And suddenly you notice, as you look around the grove, you notice lots of little eyes looking back at you. The eyes of the Fae, who will help guide you up the hill. And then, as if by magic, you notice a little pathway leading out of your grove. The moon has risen, and she guides your pathway tonight, lighting the way. And you and your little entourage of fairy friends move along the pathway, lit by the light of the moon. Keep walking, grounding yourself in with every step. Soon the pathway slopes upwards and you leave. You leave the shadows of the trees whose fingers point towards the skies. And you walk out onto the open downland, where you can hear merriment and drumming and see the shadows and the flickers of the fire of the gathering Druids up on the hill yonder. Excitement mounts. You've always wanted to join a Druid's Solstice party at one of the circles or henges. And as you go up there, you think, who will you meet tonight? Your little fairy friends help to guide you. Laughing and jollity follows you. Little Tinkerbell lights guide the way, and you feel wisps and the breezes of those who will help and protect you on this journey. Upwards and upwards and upwards, until you reach the heel stone, a standing stone just slightly out of the circle, this standing stone holds the energy of stone circles out at an angle doused by the ancients as they made this. And you pause to pay your respects. And as you step across past this heel stone, you feel an energy shift within you. And you keep walking towards the lights of the fire and the noises. And there are two figures standing up ahead of you. One is the chief, and the other is a druid, who smiles warmly and shakes your hand as you arrive, telling you that they have been waiting a very long time for you to come. And they invite you to step across into this henge of stones. And there is a fire in the middle, whose smoke moves and stretches its tendrils around you. You can feel it cleansing and clearing you, even before you've moved into it. The drums are beating and people are dancing. The smell of roast suckling pork and other delights for this feasting night. And lots of merriment abound. The stones are decorated in boughs of holly and of mistletoe. And you can see a number of different figures. Some dressed as the Jolly Green Man, an Oak King, a Holly King. Some you may recognize, others are completely new, but all are friends here. And in the middle is a great burning fire. Handfuls of barks and berries and flowers dried from the summer solstice are being thrown onto this fire. And someone steps forward to invite you to stand in the Oak King's fire of transformation. The Holly King steps forward now and offers you his hand and tells you not to be scared. This is a cooling fire, a fire to purge all of those bad things that happened in this time. In the last 6 months of the year, just think back to what you wish to get rid of. Any doubts, any impatience. And the Holly King takes your hand and you and he step into the fire now. You feel a tingling move all the way up your feet, your legs, your torso, and down your arms, out of your hands and out of the top of your head, cleansing, clearing and purging all of those unwanted memories, emotions, doubts, the anxiety, anything you feel that holds you back. Mentally cast it into the fire and let the fire burn it symbolically out of you. Just stand for a few moments now in the fire of transformation. now a different hand reaches into you. It is a hand clothed in oak leaves, a hand that will lead you into summer. The hand is of the Oak King, and he reaches in, and you step out into summer, the light part of the year. And the Holly King looks you square in the face. He pops his hands onto your shoulders so that you can feel his oaken energy flow all the way down you. And he fills you with beautiful Druid energy, strength, thunder, vitality, light, wisdom and knowledge. And you can work with these and him for the next 6 months. He overshadows from the winter solstice to the summer solstice, where his foe, the Holly King, will take it back over and guide you through the dark half of the year. Feel his energy now working through you, down through your body and out of the holes of your feet. And then he plucks a leaf for you, a golden leaf, for you to place in your pocket or straight into your heart chakra area. It does not matter. But this is your guiding leaf now for the 6 months ahead. And when you feel tired and that the journey is too much, just think of the oak tree and his big, strong roots and his vitality and his light and laughter. And know that you do have strength to carry on. We find it from somewhere, even in the depths of despair. He laughs, throws back his head, and he now reaches in for the Holly Man, who comes out rather spent because his time is now done. But he tells the Holly King now, do not fear, we will not have this fight. Traditionally, the Holly and Oak King fight at these times of year. But the fire has rather sapped him. So he sort of wanders off to sit down by a stone. And you now wander round, looking and watching what is happening. And you may want to look at the sky, because dawn is now coming. And people are getting ready for the sun's return, which will rise through the stones, which are oriented to the east and west to receive these at the solstice at this particular circle. And now, as you watch the great orb rise, the people start cheering and light returns to the world. And on the noon of the solstice, the Holly King gives up his crown to the light and the mighty Oak King. So says the music of Dove the Bard, a friend and fellow Druid of mine. And you can check out his music all over YouTube. The solstice is here. The new calendar of the year begins. And you Now have the light to return to you. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. And now it is time to leave this circle. You take one last glance around. And you walk back out to the stones where you entered, where the Druid and the Chief await you. And they thank you for coming to this solstice evening and seeing it through until the dawn. And they say to you, now that you know the way to this circle, you may come here any time in your mind's eye. This place is within you. And don't leave it so long next time. You thank them, and immediately your little fairy friends, your entourage, return to you. They've been off playing and frolicking with the merriment. And you all start to walk down the hill under the dawn sky, grounding in this meditation and healing experience with each step that you take. And soon you walk back into the woodland, the silver birch trees and the beech and all the other ones that you can't name, whose fingers reach towards the sky without their clothes, in the barest form they have. And you follow the pathway back to your inner grove and sit yourself down. Start to grow roots out of the holes in the bottom of your feet, and let those roots reground and bring you back into line, back to this time and back to this earth plane. And start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Feel the chair underneath you and sigh out. And bring yourself back by rubbing down your cheeks and your arms. And then, when you're fully back present, we shall begin a question and answer. So how was that for you all? That was channeled. I sort of knew where we were going, but I never really know. A bit more about the Jolly Green Man. Okay, the Jolly Green Man is a plant man, and he changes with the season. Yesterday he was the Holly King in the Northern Hemisphere, and now he is the Oak King, and he governs the next half of the year, but he changes with the seasons. In autumn he looks yellow, in spring he's young. Somebody just asked about what happens in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks we move into Imbolc energies, the child of the year. It is the year is seen as a person, and at Imbolc, at Candlemas, the child is born. But the energies of all of these sabbats start 3 weeks between each sabbat. So we are in winter solstice energies for another 3 weeks, and then we move into Imbolc energies. 3 weeks after Imbolc energies, we move into equinox energies, and so all the way around the year's calendar. Okay, I probably missed some of those questions that went up. I don't know if I can scroll. Anyone else got any questions? A triathlon. Stonehenge is a triathlon. Oh, thank you, Blue Water Pines. So this part is called the triathlon. Only Stonehenge has them, and these are the gateways. And these are orientated to the solstices, some of the circles, and some of them the equinoxes. You probably find a lot of temples are as well. I know Karnak has just been a gateway for a sunrise as well. So that is orientated to the north and southern pole stars, I believe. If you are in the southern hemisphere and you do not have oak and holly trees near you, use trees which are symbolic to you. I would use trees, perhaps if you're in Australia, you have eucalyptus and gum trees, or find the trees that are local to you that mean things to you, because not everybody has these kind of trees that we talk about in Celtic worlds. Likewise, in Africa, you might want, if you're near a baobab, you know, you use one of those great tall standing trees. People can be affected by the solstice. Yes, then for zebra, they tend to find that they are gateways. So it might be a gateway where the veil thins, and you might start seeing a few more spirits, feeling more emotions. I would say for the next 3 weeks to focus on the light returning, so bringing things back into your life, inspiration, projects that you're going to work on in the new year. The time for New Year's, what do we call them? New Year's resolutions. I make them now. To me, this is the beginning of the new year, not January the 1st. I go by the lunar calendar and the wheel of the year, because I'm a gardener by trade, so I literally have to plant by seasons and by moons. So for now, for the next 3 weeks, think of all the things that you want to do next year and put the plans in motion. It's all very well thinking of these things, but we need to do a bit of work ourselves. How to magic around when in here's snow for 5 minutes? Well, you're inside a house, you only need a room. You know, you can do it in your room. You don't have to go outside. You can do it like we just did in your mind. You create a world in your inner mind. We call it inner mind mapping, inner landscape, work in your mind. I've got all of this stuff here with me. I don't really need it. You just need a finger for a wand, your mind for intent, and your heart. That's all you really need. All of this stuff, it's a prop. You don't need anything. It's nice to have these things, but you really can do it without it all. Your energy and your intent are what's most important. Any other questions? I'm going to light some candles for the north and the south hemisphere in a minute. Is the winter solstice energy about resting? Yes, I would say it is about resting. We all go into hibernation. Do I have guides for specific sabbats? I would be tapping into the god or goddess energies of that sabbat. So at Imbolc, I will be, as I'm predominantly Celtic, I would be tapping into Bride Bridget, who is the maiden of the year, the child of the year. She's also the goddess of the hearth and of newborn things. The Christians hijacked her to make her Mary's midwife, because when mothers birthed, they could not stamp out the habit of taking a candle to the well to thank Bridget for their safe deliveries. So she is now Christian as well as pagan. She was predominantly Irish. So she would look after the wells and she would look after the hearth. So the ironmonger would have prayed to her. She is also a goddess of inspiration, so she lights a fire in you, which is an idea. Okay, any more questions? I might have, if I've missed it, please type it again if I haven't answered. No? Okay. Shall we light a candle for those who have not been here? Okay. So I have little offering pots here. So this has a little tree which represents the north, the direction of the north. So this is for everyone in the northern hemisphere who is now in the between stage before summer. And this is for the south, which has a little sun on it, you may see there. So we'll light that because I know there's a lot of people who watch this from the southern hemisphere who are also in between. So at the moment we are in that in-between time. That is because the sun appears. Hello, instant light. Happy summer solstice to you. We are in between. The time when the sun appears to stand still. So you've heard of full moon energy lasting for 3 days. Well, it's the same as solstice energies. And the reason Christmas Day was chosen to be the 25th of December is because on the 25th the sun appears to move again. The Mabon returns, the light child returns, the Christ child returns. So that is why Christmas Day is on the 25th, because they just couldn't stamp out these calendar pagan rituals in these countries where the Romans, who were then Christian, came to. Any more questions? If not, I think we'll do a bit of a group healing, shall we? Okay. Okay, so let's imagine that we are grounding ourselves again, growing roots out of your shoulders or just out of your feet into the ground below you. You may be able to feel that. Happy solstice, Denmark. Very dark up there for you. And then just imagine an orb of light around you. And you have got a God spark within you at your solar plexus. You may want to push that out into your orb to create your own unique protection. And then let's just all put our hands up. And I can feel the healing being switched on already. Let's send healing out to everybody watching this now and everybody who will come to watch this in the future. And I would like to also send this out for peace and love around the world, to end suffering, to end hunger, to help people who are faced with disasters over this time. I'm especially drawn to send healing and water, rain to Australia. Southern Australia is having a dreadful time at the moment. Let's wish them well and hope that these winds and these heats die down and that the storm clouds roll in. I don't know the weather patterns there, and I have to say I'm not one for doing weather magic, but I really do feel for Australia. Hello, Cumbria. And if you know of anyone now who needs some healing, just type their names up and we can all read them and all think of them and send that healing out. So I'm going to kick this off by my friend Helen, my best friend who I've just left, who suffers from a terrible amount of pain. So we'll send healing to Anne, to Mindy, and I'm going to send healing to all of you as well. If you're going to struggle getting through this, Yasmin, Kimbra, Susie, Jim and Sheila in Ipswich, Celine, Puny, Stefan, if you struggle through this season, I am going to send you protection and healing, and just go back to that transformation fire that you stepped into and burn away the anxiety again. Yes, Lani, Grizzly, Jimmy, everyone, let's send some beautiful... I'm just going to send a clearance symbol to clear all this, and the chokure. I'm also going to send the master symbol. And the Honsha Ze Shoten. And then I'm going to send a Raku to ground it in. And I'm going to read back all of this so that I can resend, because I know I've missed a lot of questions. And I think this is also a time to remember the people that aren't with us anymore at this time of year. It can be upsetting. We do found, okay, Dio whispers, I've seen that. You know, for some of us who haven't got parents or grandparents, who miss them dearly, you know, send a thought out to them, remember them. And remember the happy times. And if you do remember the unhappy times, register it. And send out love, healing and forgiveness to it. All the people who lose family members and loved ones at this time of year, I'm going to send healing to them as well. Oh, I'm sorry, Huldren. I know what it feels to lose parents. I've lost both of mine. Ah, Solstice was her heaven birthday. How auspicious, really. A great gateway to travel on. It is very hard at this time of year. It is very hard. But these people, I really believe, are around you, helping you. And we raise a glass for them. Some people set a glass out at the table. We Druids, we drink mead, of which I have some here. And this symbol is the Arwen, which is inspiration, and the 3 drops of Arwen. So I raise a glass of mead to all of you and all the people we've lost. And we Druids like to chant just like everyone else. And you may want to join with me, just singing the Arwens now, a cascade of Arwens in your own tone. Arwen. 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 Yes, it is the source of life and inspiration from Ceridwen's cauldron. Okay, so if you've still got healing coming out of your hands and you don't know what to do with it, you can either cut it off like that or put your hands on the ground and just send it down to Mother Earth. And I think we'll start to close it down now. So, in your mind, repeat after me. I'd like to thank all my guides and helpers and ask them to step back. Okay, I can feel them shifting back now from us all. And I'd like you to imagine that you are stepping into a navy blue sleeping bag. Zip it up over your head. Hello, Lorraine. Zip it up over your head. Peace above you, peace below you, and peace all around you. And I thank you ever so much for coming and joining me live in this really, really busy time of the year. I thank the gods and the angels and all the light beings I ask to keep the trolls away. Hooray, they haven't come. And I wish you and your families a most peaceful and happy time. And when you're struggling, just reground. Take a few minutes to breathe, because I know not everybody does this season very well. And know that it's only a couple of days. And then you'll all be able to spend your money at the sales. I love you all. Solstice blessings to you. I'm going to sign off now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. I don't want to press goodbye until you've all said goodbye. Love you all. Bye.